Hello, Digital Robin here with another Linux post-install walkthrough. Today, we're going to be looking at Ubuntu 2004 LTS, Focal Fossa. Hello and welcome to another post-install walkthrough. Yes, here we are. We are now here. Just a few weeks left to the official release of Ubuntu. Yeah, all flavors, that be Xubuntu, Kubuntu, Lubuntu, Ubuntu, all coming in a few weeks from now. But now we are in official development freeze, which means now it's been officially released as a beta version to us all here now to do a full test with. Anyone installing this now on full hardware will be able to run this as if it was a daily driver, but you have got still the chance of an odd bug or two getting through the system. But whilst you're in the beta phase, when the official release comes out, I think it's on April 23rd, then you'll be able to get the full updates, which will convert this beta version into a full version. So welcome to Ubuntu 2004, the LTS release. Yes, 2 years ago it was 1804. Currently here in 2020 it's running as 1804.04. But yeah, they're now here in 2020 as we are in the month of April. We are now getting an updated long-term support release, which happens every 2 years, and this one is 2004. So let's take a look. What do we get in this release? This is going to be a huge release, and as you can see on first impressions for the regular Ubuntu users amongst us, the theming here is absolutely fantastic. I love how these purples blend in with the pinks and the oranges and the reds. It's just perfect, especially for my eyes. I absolutely love the gradientness of the color scheme here. So congratulations and well done to the Yarrow community team. They've done an absolutely fantastic job with the theming of this release here, and yeah, we'll spot that in a few moments time as we click our way through. So here we are, first initial screen. I've already run the welcome screen because unfortunately I can't pull it across from my secondary monitor here. So on the first of course initial login, you get greeted with the welcome screen, and it is there that you can actually specify your online sources. So if you want to set up your Microsoft accounts, your Dropbox accounts, that sort of thing, you can set that up on that welcome screen there. You can also tell Ubuntu whether you want to enable location services and set up a few more features, which is in here there. So I just need to point out first of all that during installation here, I have installed this, and I didn't really have to tell the system that I had an NVIDIA card. It just installed straight out of the box. The NVIDIA drivers loaded straight away. I've had absolutely no issues whatsoever. And in fact, I haven't even done any updates yet. So just to quickly talk you through the installation process. So it can take about 10, 15, maybe 30 minutes depending on your hardware. I'm running off of a 120 gigabyte SSD here at the moment, so the installation process was pretty quick for me, but I timed it in about 12 minutes, so it wasn't too bad there at all. But during the installation, obviously, I had to tell it my name, what my username would be, what my host name would be, and tell it what hard disk to install it on, what my time zone was, what my keyboard layout was, what my language was. And I think there was a screen also for me to actually tell it what kind of encryption I wanted as well. So I've just gone for a blanket install with no LVM or no ZFS as well, which of course is new to Ubuntu. Now, what can I say? From 1910, I think, or was it 1904? I can't quite remember. But anyway, in one of those releases there, the Yarrow theming didn't quite make it into the build, so it got delayed there. So the Yarrow theme that you currently have on your on your current versions in the 19 series obviously was an update there. Yeah, huge improvement straight away from 1804 here into 2004. So with the initial introductions over, let us take a look. So first of all, let me just tell you about my dual screen setup here. So obviously I have two screens set up in front of me here, one being on HDMI and the other one being on VGA. So a couple of things to just point out here. It could be a bug, I don't know, but when I first obviously booted up the system after the installation, the login screen actually was showing on my secondary screen and not my primary screen. So I had to obviously move the mouse pointer to the left rather than to the right as I would normally do, to obviously get the cursor placed inside the login page and then obviously enter in our password. But once I got into the setup here, I then opened up the display settings, and then I changed the ordering of the screens, set my resolution correctly, and obviously updated my refresh rates. Clicked apply, and now here I am, where I can move the mouse across now to the right hand side, and I can drag Windows into view here, as you can see I'm doing now with OBS. Although I won't bring it full into view here. So yeah, just that point to make out there. I've spotted a bug straight away, and it could just be something that actually gets resolved within the actual full build when it comes out in a few weeks' time. But let's just point that out first of all. So here on the panel, or the dock on the left hand side, it uses dash to dock. So if you were to right click on the applications icon as you would normally do within any of the Ubuntu installations, obviously you can dive straight into the dash to dock settings. But if you click into this, now we've got an alert at the top of our screen saying the execution of Gnome shell extension preferences failed as the command could not be found. So that might be a bug that gets resolved in the actual full release, but I just wanted to point out now that if you're trying to attempt to kind of do any settings within the dock, you can't do currently under the dash to dock settings. So my advice would be, if you are a bit of a theme lover out there, is to get the tweaks tool and or at least go onto the extensions website and download dash to panel. Now dash to panel puts the dock to the bottom of the screen and actually shows it as a kind of Windows 10 style start menu, and yeah, there you can actually set up the desktop as if it was a normal desktop without the dock here on the left hand side. So speaking of the dock, now I'm looking at my desktop here on a resolution of 1920 by 1080, which of course is HD. The first thing that really annoys me about this installation and the first setup is the size of the icons. Now I don't know quite how this would look to you laptop users out there. And I know a lot of people are using Ubuntu now on laptops, especially now as manufacturers such as Dell are actually now manufacturing hardware with Ubuntu pre-installed on it. I'm slightly concerned, slightly worried as to how this dock will actually show to laptop users. I'm not yet to try it on any laptop because I don't really have the capabilities to do that here yet. But yeah, so looking at it on my desktop, the first thing I will say about this is it's actually quite large. So the first thing I'm going to do is press my super key or my Windows key on my keyboard, and of course I've got Firefox open at the moment on a screen I'm going to show you in a moment. I'm actually going to go into the settings panel, and because I had the display settings open beforehand, it's defaulted back to display. But what I'm going to do is go into, I think it's under appearance, yeah, under appearance. The icons in the dock are currently set to size 48 pixels. That is quite large, to be perfectly honest. So as I'm on a I have a big screen here of 24-inch. I'm going to reduce the icon size down to, I think, roughly about 30 or 32. Yeah, 30 seems to be a more comfortable size for me here. Or even 28. Yeah, let's leave it at 28. Not quite sure how that's appearing to you on your screens right now, but certainly it's a more comfortable fit for me on my desktop setup here. You've also got the option to position the dock at the bottom, and you can see now it looks more like a sort of Windows style taskbar. And of course you can put it onto the right hand side if you're a bit of a kind of a multitasker where you don't want the intrusion of the dock there, and you obviously can read left to right without the intrusion of the dock there. But of course, you know, by default it always appears on the left hand side. You can here now set it to be auto hide the dock. So if I did that now, and then obviously didn't have this window open here, if I had something open full screen right now, then the dock will auto hide. But here you've got the option now to change the themes. Now, this is good. I like this. If you are a bit of a light user, you can set it to light, and then it will do a full 100% sort of grey white. We are currently by default set as standard, so if you look now you see the taskbars and everything have gone black, and we've got the main window set as white. But if you are like me and you like to go in dark mode, look how this looks now. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Love the oranges on that dark background there. Absolutely beautiful, and goes wonderful with the background, of course, here. Anyway, so for the purpose of this demonstration here, I'm going to set it to dark mode, and we'll just leave it at that. So let's take a look through the settings. So you've got the network, of course, where you can obviously see what your network is set up like. I'm running through a wired connection currently right now on a 1 gigabit connection, so that's the reason why you're seeing that there. I don't have a 1 gigabyte internet connection, but at least my desktop is capable of downloading and uploading through a 1 gigabyte connection there. You've got Bluetooth. Now I do have a dongle installed on my desktop here. Currently I don't have any devices open in the house that are running as Bluetooth, so that's the reason why nothing is being detected right now. But that's a nice easy way to file share between devices, and that actually does work very well because I've tried it myself, and yeah, it's quite a speedy transfer as well, and very good if you've got guests around the house that join you and you need to quickly share a file with them, which you don't want them having access to your wireless network, of course. We of course got the background. Let's take a look what backgrounds we get with this release. Okay, so we are in the beta view, so there aren't that many. I can only really see here now 2 new wallpapers, and at the moment we're set to Focal Fossa's Ubuntu style background here. But of course, if you are a bit of a light user or you need something that's easy on the eye, you can switch to the grey version of the same background. But this one I do like, and this comes through from 1910 as well, is the Ubuntu logo on what looks like sort of a folded piece of fabric. But yeah, it's nice. I like that. I would love to know how people actually get that kind of look within Photoshop and other image editors, but yeah, that's for another day. But obviously for now I'm going to set it to the default background. So appearance, yeah, we've just touched on that. Notifications, you can now get lock screen notifications, and here you can set the do not disturb mode. Now speaking of do not disturb, as we are now running Gnome 3.36, you can also now switch to do not disturb mode from the top panel by clicking the clock, and you can see now that we've got do not disturb here. So if you are on a conference call and you don't want the notifications coming up, or if like me now you are doing a screen record here and you don't want interruption from notifications, then you can basically do not disturb from this point here, and yeah, you'll get no notifications or noises coming out of your desktop. So I like that feature. Yeah, so here you can actually manage those notifications. So if you don't want to see any prompts or notifications regarding stuff that's been sent to the printer, for example, then you can turn it off here. Same with Rhythm Box as it changes tracks. Power settings when it becomes like battery low. Network, you can see you're switching on and off of Wi-Fi networks, for example. Files, yeah, I think that's more to do with transfers. You get disk usage analyzer, color profiles, desktop sharing, date and time, backups, and of course the archive manager. That's notifications. Search, now this is brilliant. So on a Mac you have a feature called Spotlight. What Spotlight does is it indexes your entire system and basically helps you locate those lost files out there. So here in Ubuntu 20.04, I think you get this from previous versions as well. Apologies, I must say, by the way, I haven't really properly touched Ubuntu in quite some time, so apologies if I'm sounding like, you know, it sounds like it's a new feature when in actual fact it's a feature coming down from previous versions, so apologies on that one there. But here you can set what you want to be searched for within the main search. So obviously, yeah, you want to search your files. Not quite sure why calculator is there, but let's give it a try. A quick calculation. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Did you see that? Brilliant. Love that. But if you wanted to, you can turn that off here. Calendar. Everybody loves a calendar. Not quite sure, again, why you would want calendar showing up in the searches. I don't know. Tuesday? I don't know. Just guessing. Why would a calendar need to be part of the system search? Reminders, perhaps? Okay, possibly. I don't know. Characters and passwords and keys. Now, why would you need passwords and keys? I'll have to investigate that one. But you've also got the option to have it search the terminal as well. So why would you want to do that? Well, I could say that, but I'm not entirely sure if it's to search for terminal or whether it's to search for something within commands of some sort. But I will investigate that one a bit later on. So moving on to applications. Now, here is where you control all of your applications. This is brilliant. And now I think this is a new feature. I've not seen this one in a previous build, but like I said, it's been quite a while since I've touched Ubuntu. Additional drivers, Solitaire, Archive Manager. So you can see the kind of settings that are appearing here now. Disk usage, yeah. Scanners, files. You can, yeah, tell it kind of what handlers you want, whether you want it to be part of the search or not. Firefox, do you want some notifications from Firefox? Again, you can tinker with the settings here. Fonts, help, image viewer, LibreOffice suite, games, live patch. You can turn the notifications off for live patch. Logs, games, settings for the graphics card. You can see I've got the NVIDIA already pre-installed. OBS, which I'm running right now, so you can basically allow permissions here. So what kind of things do you allow OBS to have access to? Passwords and keys, yeah. I don't know, I'm concerned about privacy over that one, but I'll ask the development team about that one. Power statistics, yeah, that must be kind of pre-warning you for battery running low, that sort of stuff. Remote desktop, yeah, of course that's got to be there. Software updater, yeah, so basically it's pretty much the same. You've got your search. Do you want that feature or that application to be accessed via the main search, which is good. So that was applications. Now privacy allows you here. Now in the startup screen, as I mentioned a bit earlier on, you had the option to turn location services on or off. In my case, I have it turned off by default, so I'm going to turn it back on. And it won't automatically detect, but basically it's saying it will, within Firefox, use Mozilla's location services. That means if I'm looking at weather forecasts or travel news, etc., then by default that will go out and find the location where I'm based and then give me what I need based on that location. Thunderbolt, I don't have any hardware for supporting that. File history and rubbish bin. Now this is another feature that's been brought across from 1910. You can obviously ask it to keep your file history forever, or you can say keep your file history for up to a day, 7 days or 30 days, or you can clear the history here. Rubbish bin and temporary files. Now I like to automatically empty the recycle bin and automatically delete temporary files, and I always set it to about 15 days worth because 2 weeks for me is enough, I think. I'm a regular user of basically making sure that my system stays clean, so yeah, I leave that setting on just in case I don't quite get round to removing those temporary files. And screen lock. So if you leave this machine alone for 5 minutes, then the screen will go blank and it will then automatically lock the screen. You can of course change the setting to be time-wise what you like. In my case, I'm going to say never. Was there a 30-minute? No, there wasn't. So 15 minutes it's thinking is enough. And then we've got the automatic screen lock. Yeah, screen turns off. Yeah, of course we do. We want the screens to save energy there. Lock screen on suspend. Yeah, you can do that as well. I don't tend to use the suspend or hibernate features of any power settings, so I'll just leave those alone. Diagnostics. Now, I've already changed the setting to automatic here, but by default, when you come into the installation for the first time, it will say manual. What this will do is when it comes across a bit of an issue where it wants to send a bug report back to Canonical, you can obviously manually push it, or you can ask the system to do it for you automatically in the back end. So let me just change the setting on that one there with my password. And is it me? I'm not logged in as me, but we'll give it a try. Oh, it's done it. Okay, good. Interesting, because yes, that's one thing I haven't pointed out. I'm logged in as a standard user by the name of John Doe, by the way. And my main account, my one, is set up as the system administrator. So that's the reason why that prompt just then asks for the administrator account, which is pretty good for in terms of security, which is great. What's left in terms of settings? So online accounts, yeah, so that you could have set up on initial first startup. Sharing as well. Now the sound, yeah, so at the moment I'm set to come through one of my headsets, and obviously recording the sound. I am recording my sound at the moment through my headset. That's in Ubuntu, but within OBS at the moment I am recording via my external sound device, which is why I sound different to how I would be as if I was talking to you through my headset microphone right now. And we just scroll down here, so that's fine. Over amplification. Now if you find that you want to go above 100% in terms of audio, you can do that. You can turn this feature on and it'll allow you to amplify your sound a bit further if you are having any sound issues, and I think it takes your sound level up to about 120%, so yeah, it will result in loss of audio quality because it does start to distort, obviously, but you do have that option there if something sounds really, really quiet to obviously increase that further. Under the power settings, blank screen, yeah, we've done that already. Screen display, done that already. Obviously I had to swap the screen order round when I did the first initial login. And a mouse and touchpad. I don't have a touchpad, but obviously I can set the traction level, should I say, of my mouse. Can do that. And we've got keyboard shortcuts. So currently right now to launch a terminal I have to do Control Alt T, but then I can do or set that to Super T if I wanted to, or the Windows key T, and yeah, so it's here that we can change that. Printers, yeah, I didn't need to do anything. My printer is in standby mode just behind me here, my wireless printer, and already Ubuntu has detected and installed the driver for me, so I don't need to do anything with this one. But one thing I'm going to do is just check the settings for that, set it to be my printer by default, but I can't do that at the moment for some reason. They seem to be greyed out. There are additional printer settings which I might be able to set here. This is my printer queue, isn't it? So settings and administrator password, authentication. Alright, let's just do this. That's my main administration account. Allow remote administration, allow users to cancel any job, not just their own. Yeah, I'll leave that one there. Allow remote administration, probably, okay, alright, we'll just do that for now. Yeah, so I just love how I can just, you know, fire up Ubuntu and straight away I don't need to do anything with my printer. Oh, hello, have we got a crash? Let's force quit that. Removable media. So what let's say now is, what do you want to do when you insert a CD audio into your CD drive? Then obviously you can ask it what to do, or you can tell it to open within a specific application. So in this case here, because it's CD audio, it'll be Rhythmbox. DVD video, I'm going to ask it to open in the application videos. Music player, Rhythmbox again. Photos, Shotwell. And the software, yeah, we've got Run software, which is good. Device color, that's to do with my monitor profiles. Language and region. Universal access. And users. Currently I have 2 users. I have myself set up as the main admin account, and John Doe as my test account, which I'm logged in as right this moment. So that's the settings all sorted, so that's pretty good. Are we in a good place? Yeah, I think so. Right, before we start having a bit of a click through, let's have a look by opening up a terminal, and I'm just going to increase the font size so you can see this. Let's have a look if there are any package updates. So we do sudo pkcon update John Doe's account is not in sudo, is okay. If I just do sudo John Doe. Now, is this the administrator password or John's account? I'm going to go with the administrator password. Might say it's the wrong password. Thought so. Okay, we'll just try that again. Yeah, there we go. So I should now be able to run sudo pkcon update. Okay. It is because I'm logged in as a standard user here, so John can't run any of those commands as a sudo. So I should be able to just go su and yes, no. What do we want to do? We want to make... We made John that. No. Let's see if I can log in as me. Yes? La 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 la. Ah, there we go. Brilliant. Thank you. Exactly what I wanted. So I entered my password now, and it's going to get updates. and there's no package updates because obviously it's a brand new install and it's got the latest version of this distribution. Right, let's just see if there are any updates now. So we do sudo apt update. Are there any package updates? Taking a while. Yes, no, we're all up to date. It says we're up to date. I do believe it, but I'm also just going to do an upgrade check as well. Nothing to upgrade, nothing to install, nothing to remove. We're good. Fantastic. Excellent. Alright, now then. Here comes the fun part. Let's install Neofetch. Oops. Sudo apt install Neofetch. Yes. And that's done. So watch now as I load up Neofetch. And yeah, obviously I've increased the font size so you can see this here. But yeah, we're currently recording using OBS at the moment. So we are using a little bit of memory here. But we are running off of nearly, well, what was it? Nearly 2 gigs worth of RAM out of 16 gigs. So that's not too bad. We're running kernel version 5.4021 generic. That's the most recent. I would just say to people we're running off of kernel 5.4. I've only had it installed and up and running for an hour and a half now. We have 1700 packages installed and 7 of those are running snap applications. Running the bash shell of 5.0.16. We are running Gnome. As we know, we're running Gnome 3.36, although it doesn't say it here. Theme-wise and icon-wise, we're running the latest Yaru theme. And we're currently looking at Gnome Terminal, which is what you're seeing here. Now, I'm just going to do something which I do with every Ubuntu release that, or install that I do with any friends and family, is they go, oh, I do like that Neofetch. Yeah, that's good because it tells me quite a bit of information on screen there. I'm like, well, did you want it to load when you first load up a terminal? They're like, what? I said, so each time you load up a terminal, Neofetch would load automatically. Oh yeah, I like the sound of that. Okay, here's how you do it. You go into your files. We need to show hidden files, so get the control key, press and hold down the control key and press H. Control H brings up the hidden files. You can also, through one of the options here, yeah, so if you click on the sort of hamburger style icon, you can ask it to show hidden files here. But Control H is the keyboard shortcut. Now, we need to load up bash rc. So if we just do a right click on that file, just check that we've got a text editor associated with it. So we do. So in this case, I can open with text editor. And obviously the lighting is not great on this theme here. Let me just see if I can change that quickly to more of a white background. Fonts and colors. Use system. Oh, but I can choose another style, can't I? Is that better for you? That's better for my eyes, I tell you. So I'm going to leave it like that. And yeah, all we need to do is come to the very top of the page, press enter a couple of times, and then we just type in Neofetch. And when that's done, click save. You know it's unsaved at the moment because it's got the asterisk there. Click save, asterisk disappears. That's now done. Close that down, come back to your file manager, Control H again, hides those hidden files, or again you can go in the hamburger menu and uncheck this box here. Now, what has that done? Stand by, here we go. Control Alt T will bring up a new terminal window. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! That's Neofetch loaded. Great, isn't it? It's fantastic. Do you know why I like it so much? Because it's pretty. It tells me a lot of system information, but notably it tells me how much RAM I'm using currently right now. And I like it because now the cursor flashes. It's like I'm waiting for you to do something. Do you know what? It makes me remember the old school style BBC micros and the Acorn Electrons when you booted up and it went ping and you got left with just a command prompt basically for you to start typing your commands with. That's what that reminds me of. Anyway, so yeah, so Neofetch done. Brilliant. I like that. So we'll close that down now. Now, let's think. So before we look at what we get in the back end, what are you thinking about this theming? I love this theme. And I, can fully, or wholeheartedly, from my own heart, congratulate the Yarrow community team there, who's done a fantastic job with the theming over this. It's got Ubuntu style colouring here, but I love the gradients. I love the new icons. This is fantastic. This is going to make this distribution look absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, so that's my first impression of that. Anyway, let's have a look now what we've got in terms of applications. So let's click onto the applications menu here. And the first thing I'm going to say and point out here is that when I ran this from a live USB, when I click the applications menu, these icons that you're seeing animated now, they used to animate a lot faster when I ran it from live USB. And they seem to have slowed down since I've gone across to becoming more of a local install. Not sure if it's because of the resources or the strain on my hardware, or if it's just something to do with the Gnome 3.36 environment. But all I would point out though is even though it's appearing like it's running smooth but slow, it's a lot faster than 1910, I will say. So it is the GNOME shell that basically is causing this issue. And I think once we get this dash to dock shell extension sorted out, it may appear a lot faster. But the Ubuntu team probably can correct me on that one now. But that's just my first initial thoughts, so what I'm thinking around that one. So let's take a look at the applications. So I've gone for a full install here, not a minimal install. So things that are shouting out to me straight away, software wise, is that we now have a live patch option here. We have got, where are we? A Snap Store, that's it. So you might be saying, where's the software center gone? It's disappeared. Why has it disappeared? Because they've now converted it into a Snap Store. Every single application now here within this store is a Snap app. Now, no longer is there the need to go off to Snapcraft website and actually get the Snap commands to be able to install these applications. You can come straight here. So I'm going to search for a Snap piece of software that I know about. Starters, you've got Opera. There's the Opera browser. There's another one I use as well to listen to internet radio called Audio. There we go, that's there straight away. Spotify. There it is straight away. And another one that I normally install via Snap. Let me think now. It is mostly that. Yeah, alright. No, I think I've already covered it. Oh, OBS. That was it. There we go. And it's already installed. Of course it is because I'm running it right now. So yeah, so you can come straight here. What is it? I spotted just then a Discord. Yep. is also a snap. So let's get that installed. And because it's I'm logged in as a standard user, and this is pretty good for parental control, you need to enter a administrator password, and off it goes. Incidentally, in the top corner here there's a drop down that says latest and stable. So when you do search for a bit of software, the likelihood here is that there's going to be multiple versions of the same software. So in this case here, I just want to install the latest and the stable. But if you're interested in looking at new features or testing out new features, you can download the latest beta version of the software that you're looking at now. There we go, that's done. Brilliant. And let's just quickly see if Telegram is on there as well. Doesn't look to be in alphabetical order, this. But I will download the Zoom client as well. Can't be without Zoom. Yep, that's quick and easy. And incidentally, whilst one app is installing, you can come back and search for more. Yeah, that's good. And it's probably better that I actually just search for Telegram. There we go. And you can see we've got some options within the latest stable, or I can download a beta version. But looking at this, why is the beta version lower than the actual stable version? Anyway, looks like they're getting ready to launch 2.0.1-5, but in this case I'm just going to download the latest and the stable. So yeah, we're done by the looks of it. I've just installed some Snap apps. Yay, excellent. Alright, so what else can I show you? LibreOffice, let's see what version of Libero we've got. It should be the latest stable. I think they're on 6.4.3 now. We'll just double check that in a moment. It says we're on 6.4, so let's have a look at the help and about. We're on 6.4.2, so probably a couple of versions behind, but that's like the stable version anyway. Okay, we'll close that down. And what else can we check for? Firefox, yes, that's right. So let's just check what version of Firefox we are running here. We go into the properties menu, go to help and about, and we're running the latest version, which is 74. Marvelous. And it looks like it's Canonical's version. Good. Anyway, still the latest and the greatest. Still as speedy as ever. And I'm liking the theming as well. What I don't like is every time I do use Firefox on any distribution is the title. So to read that, I always go to customize, and down here in the top, the bottom left hand corner, you got title bar. Turn that off, and you can see now the title bar has disappeared, and we are just left with a full screen with tabs. Brilliant, just how I like it. Right, so just quickly looking at the release there. So we are now in Ubuntu beta stage right now. The latest kernel update goes into a freeze next week. So they've still got another week yet to put updates to the 5.4. And we're looking at a release candidate of around April 16th. Now, what that means is basically that's where they're preparing the beta with all of the updates and feedback received by its end users or testers. And they're finally packaging it up for a full release, which should happen around April 23rd, I believe. And yeah, that's going to be Easter week, isn't it? Yeah. So just looking at some of the features here, we've already covered. Yeah, we're getting the GNOME 3.36, 5.4 kernel, boot screen. I can't really show you that because I'm recording right now, but there's a new login screen as well. And you get the opportunity to look at a new GNOME shell performance. Yep, we've already spotted that. Multi-monitor support in GDM. That works perfectly for me here on dual screen. And that's about it, really. So yeah, so Ubuntu 20.04 LTS, the long-term support release for 2020, will be released on April 23rd. So go ahead now and download the beta, install it on hardware, and use it as if it was your daily driver. And on release day, when they finally release the full candidate, you can do a distribution update through the normal software update process, and yeah, you'll get the full version convert from beta into full version. Marvelous. So that's about it from me. Thank you for taking the time out to watch me demo Ubuntu 20.04 here on this post-install walkthrough. We'll do more of these soon, and what I'm looking to do next is to probably look at Ubuntu, which I might do. Now, Ubuntu uses XFCE, and yeah, Ubuntu, I am like lightning fire with that. I don't know why, just in my mind, I just know exactly what I'm doing with that distribution. I know all the commands, I know what software I want, the kind of layout I want, the panels I want, etc. So yeah, we'll do another test, I think, and we'll run ourselves through that one there and see how we go. So once again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You know where all the buttons are. Hit the bell button if you want to be obviously notified of any new notifications when I post up videos, and I'll go live with my streams. So thank you very much for watching. Have yourselves a brilliant day, and I'll catch you again in another video.